You know, when we think of ancient scriptures, we usually think of myths and legends. But what if one of them isn't about gods, but about physics? What if it holds a completely different blueprint for the universe? One that starts not with a bang, but with a spark. Let's dive in. Our whole exploration starts right here, with this one single line from the ancient Vedic texts. Now, on the surface, it looks pretty straightforward, right? It's just a ranking of deities. But the theory we're digging into today says no, this isn't theology at all. It's physics. And this line, well, it's the key to the whole cosmic puzzle. So that's the big question we're tackling. Is this just ancient mythology, or could it actually be a coherent, scientific model of creation that's been hiding in plain sight this whole time? To figure that out, we have to start by decoding the language itself. Okay, so to crack this riddle, we need to completely rethink three key terms: Agni, Vishnu, and the devas. We have to stop seeing them as gods and start seeing them as cosmic phenomena. First up, Agni. In right away, you gotta forget the image of a fire god. In this model, Agni is something far more fundamental. It's the very first thing to appear out of the void, a kind of primordial electricity. It's the smallest, lowest energy spark that gets the whole cosmic engine started. Then, at the complete opposite end of the scale, you've got Vishnu. And again, let's just set aside the traditional idea of a deity. Here, Vishnu represents the absolute final stage of creation, the grand finale. It's a fully formed star, like our own sun, just blazing away with the power of nuclear fusion. So, you see what we have here. We've got these two cosmic bookends. Agni is the very first creation, the absolute lowest energy state. Vishnu is the very last, the highest energy state. And that means that ancient verse, it isn't our hierarchy of who's most powerful. It's a timeline. It's describing the process of creation, from the very beginning to the very end. Okay, so if Agni is the start and Vishnu is the finish line, what about the devas that the verse says are in between? Well, this is where the rest of the universe actually gets built. So this model lays out a pretty clear four-step process. First, there's just this formless ether everywhere. Then, out of that ether, the first spark of Agni, electricity, is born. But here is where it gets really wild. Step 3 is the formation of the devas, celestial bodies, like planets. Think about that for a second. The planets are created before step 4, which is when Vishnu, the star, finally ignites. In this model, the planets come first. Now, the idea of planets forming before their star even lights up, that's a massive departure from the standard model we all learn in school. It suggests a universe that's working in the complete opposite direction of what we'd expect. And this, right here, is the absolute core of this alternate blueprint. You know the Big Bang model, right? It starts insanely hot and dense, and then it expands and cools down. It goes from high energy to low energy. This Vedic model, it does the exact opposite. It starts cold, simple, with the lowest possible energy, that spark of Agni, and it builds up to the highest energy state, a star like Vishnu. This, of course, raises a huge question. I mean, if the universe isn't just cooling down from one big event, but is actively building itself up, what's it using for raw materials? What is the fuel for this incredible cosmic construction project? So what powers this whole buildup from low to high energy? Well, the texts have a pretty fascinating answer. They propose there's this universal fuel that both builds and sustains literally everything in the cosmos. And the secret to this cosmic fuel, according to the source material, comes down to this number, 11. It's not just one thing you see. It's a composite of 11 fundamental types of rays. This fuel has a name, purodasha, and the texts describe it as literally food or nourishment for stars and for energy waves. It's not matter like we think of it, but this incredible substance made of 11 distinct types of what are called prana rays. So what exactly are these prana rays? Well, you can think of them as the true, fundamental building blocks of everything. They're not just passive little particles, they are the active forces that provide motion and attraction. The texts say they're constantly being sown into matter, almost like seeds, acting as this living food that allows stars to grow and to shine. And here's the real kicker. The model claims these rays are a force that is totally unknown to modern science. So when you put it all together, you get this incredible picture. It's not a universe that just explodes into being and then fades. No, it's a universe that grows. It's a cosmos that's built from the ground up, from low energy to high energy, and it's continuously powered by this set of fundamental life-giving rays. And this really brings us to the most mind-bending claim in this entire model. The source material just comes right out and says it. These foundational prana rays, the very engine of this version of the universe, are not any kind of energy that we, as humans, have ever been able to discover or measure. Which leaves us with this one final fascinating thought. We often assume that our scientific models are getting pretty close to complete. But this ancient blueprint, whether you see it as physics or just philosophy, it asks a really profound question. What if the most fundamental power source in the cosmos is still out there, completely undiscovered, just waiting for us to find it?